What's up, everyone?
Welcome.
Welcome back to Word of Mouth. We're in a really cool place right now. Steven, where are we?
We are in the beautiful downtown Birmingham, Alabama, at a place called Birmingham Brokers. And we're around a lot of rubber wheels, a lot of metal. Are the exteriors of cars made out of metal?
Yeah.
Metal exteriors, glass windows, assorted in beautiful ways.
We're here with a new friend,
We are.
Mr. Craig.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here. This is fun. This is my first podcast, so a little nervous, not quite sure what to do,
No reason
where to
be
hold my
nervous.
hands. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a good run.
It's going to be fun. Well, welcome back to Word of Mouth today. Thank you for joining us on your beautiful little whatever day it is in your world.
It's either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
That is
when you're
true.
listening to this.
Only 7 options there.
Facts.
I feel like we're continuing on the trend of we're definitely breaking the record of like the podcast who has hosted the most amount of people's first podcast episode as a guest.
Gotta be.
So
Gotta be.
That's honestly surprising. I feel like you definitely would have been on somewhere before.
Well, you can hang your hat on that for sure. That is a good thing. I've been on the radio a few times, but I've never really done a podcast. So
Yeah.
I've always stayed away from that stuff. But
Sure.
I'm in a real blitz right now where I'm trying to grow the business. So part of that is social media, which I've never really done a lot of social media other than the goofy stuff I find to put on my personal page.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of blitzing. I'm like, all right, I just need to do these podcasts so I can use it and create some clips and some content.
Sure.
Because it's pretty taxing to think of things to do all the time.
Definitely.
There's only so much you can do with AI, and
Right.
so many times people want to see your face.
And you've got to run the business at the same time.
And you got to run the business. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your business that you run?
Birmingham Broker. So we started in 2008 when the real estate market was crashing, of course, but we wanted to take the real estate approach to the automotive business. So I am a glorified, basically, consignment business, a white glove service that my goal is to net you more money or get you more money than you would trading in your car, and then also keeping all the goons and people out of your driveway that you met on Marketplace that wanted to trade you a jet ski and a boat. And ask you how many times is this still available?
Yeah. So how did you get into this? How do you find yourself brokering car deals?
Well, I kind of fell into it. My dad, he was in the restaurant business for years. He was with a company called Sandwich Chef, which then he actually renamed it Wall Street Deli. They were all they had a couple hundred around the country, and he had brain surgery years ago. So after that brain surgery in the mid '80s, he couldn't fly around anymore, and couldn't shoot, hunt. A lot of the things he enjoyed. So he decided to do something he loved, and he was always passionate about Porsches and cars. So he started a company called Euromotion, where he would get cars for people to sell. So white glove service for mainly for Mountain Brook folks and all that who are busy running their own careers and don't want to sit in a dealership for 6 hours trying to negotiate a deal. He would just do it. So, as someone needs a car, they need to get rid of a car. So he would go and he would help them by putting it in the Birmingham News, right, and help them sell it. Well, 06, 07, 08, all through there, all of that was dissolving and everything was going to the internet. So he started calling me, saying, "Hey, Craig, you want to help me get rid of, Mr. G's car or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot." And so I started putting them on AutoTrader and Cars.com and all that. And all of a sudden, I've got these cars everywhere. I'm parking them all over Cahaba Heights. I'm up at the summit. I rented a lot of the garage spaces for the apartments up there that kind of were like floating islands.
Yeah.
And because the tenants weren't doing it,
wouldn't pay for it.
So my car just had clickers all over the ceiling. So as real estate starts kind of dumping, I was like, well, let's just give this a shot. Let's try to make a business out of it.
Sure.
So
were you working in real estate before? Is that why you mentioned it?
I was. Yeah,
okay.
I was in new construction sales. I was the guy sitting there rotting, in the spec homes. Yeah. So it gave me plenty of time to fool around with the cars too. You know? So it was an interesting time.
Yeah. Have you always been into cars, like as an enthusiast?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My friends that I grew up with always just tell me that I'm where I'm supposed to be, that they remember me playing with Hot Wheels and, forcing Porsches down their throat at a young age.
That's awesome. Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Crestline.
Oh, in Crestline. Okay, straight. It was like, so literally right over the hill, right?
Right over the hill.
Wow. Okay. That's so cool. I think this is interesting talking to Myers about this because, like I said earlier, Myers is definitely the car guy out of the two of us. I am a developing, interested car person because of that, secondhand smoking all of these years. But one of the things that I think is fascinating is Myers also, we learned this like crazy story whenever he was like 2 or 3 years old. He was in the hospital for something having to do with his cystic fibrosis, so it's something to do with that. And your grandma would bring you Hot Wheels or something like that?
Yeah, my parents, every time it's a long story, but I have cystic fibrosis and spent a lot of time in the hospital when I was a kid. And every time I'd have some kind of operation or something like that, my parents would buy me Hot Wheels because that was what I loved.
There was like this like very young kind of like nurtured associative value with cars for him.
Yeah.
And as a person who's just like interested in psychology, I think that's like so interesting. Do you remember anything like that for you, like literally early childhood, or is it just kind of always been there? Or
I mean, I remember impactful moments. Like I remember when my dad. I remember having an emotional tie to the looks and the appeal of a car. Like I remember him having a red 911 for a while, and I just loved it. And I was so proud my dad had a 911. And then one day he came home with an Inca orange BMW 2002.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did you do? Like, have you lost your mind? Which, of course, I ended up loving that. But, it's always little things like that. Or riding in my first kind of supercar.
Yeah.
All of that's really impactful. Now, going back to your scenario, so today, is that how you keep track of how many surgeries and hospital visits you've had? You look at your Hot Wheel collection?
I was going to say, I've got way more Hot Wheels now, and I still have a problem of buying them as a 25-year-old.
I understand. I'm 51, and I don't think you've been in my office yet, but it's all lined with Porsche Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Why Porsche? What is it about Porsche?
That was just the most impactful thing to me. My dad, he loved Porsche. He loved all the German things, but Porsche was his big thing. And then on the motorcycle side, he loved BMW and he loved Triumph.
Yeah.
And so I just, wanted to be like your dad.
Yeah.
That's just always it's just a tie. It's a tie in. And I love Porsches, man. I just don't think anything drives like one.
I was going to say most of the stuff behind us is
I love them.
German.
I love them.
Yeah. Porsche same. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. It's all I dream about.
Do y'all have a way for people? I'm just thinking, we just recorded with RMR. This is probably going to come out the next week or the week after that. For our listeners who aren't super familiar with cars, can you compare Porsche to another I'm trying to think of not cars but fast food restaurants, or not cars but college football teams, or I don't know, for girls makeup companies. I don't even know.
I wouldn't know college football. A good comparison that I know of is watches.
Yeah.
Rolex is, I would argue, pretty similar to Porsche in that it's got the brand prestige, they're reliable and usable.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of what makes Porsche really special, is that they're high performance vehicles, but they will perform every time you ask it of them.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times with some other marks being car brands, they don't always have the reliability and usability of a Porsche, because a Porsche has a back seat. It's not super usable,
Sure.
but you if you have small kids, you can put your kids in the back, and there's plenty of room for suitcases and things like that when you travel, and so part of what people love is they can just get in the car and trust it to go and be really fun to drive.
So it's kind of like the Honey Bunches of Oats of cereal.
Sure.
It's actually healthy. It actually tastes good.
Yeah.
And it's actually cereal, not just kind of like candy.
Yeah. I don't know if you have a different comparison. Craig.
No, I think that's good. I think you're pretty spot on. And even to add to that, like Birmingham, for example, Porsche's basically the highest performance brand you can find a dealership for here.
Yeah.
So, it's a for the masses, serviceable, enjoyable vehicle. Like, if we had Ferrari and Lamborghini and all that here, we'd have more people that drive those, similar to where you'd have like Patek Philippe or other watch brands that you can dive as deep as you want into Pagani and and the really ultra rare watches and all that kind of stuff. But I would definitely say it's a flagship level high performance sports car.
Yeah. It's also like it's pretty achievable. Like if you wanted to go and buy a new car, a new Porsche, like a 911's probably, I don't know, 140 grand now, something like that. They've gone up. But like pretty realistically, you could work really hard your whole life, like put some money away, and like as you get older, you can actually kind of reasonably go out and buy one of those.
There's a lot of variety in price too. That's something else I've noticed about Porsche since being friends with Myers. Is like it's not like obviously the one you want is probably like 100 grand or more.
Yeah.
But you can get a Boxster for $10,000, $8,000. Like you could own a Porsche at whatever your whatever your income level is, as long as you handle your money well, which is pretty cool.
Agree. Like like you have your dream car,
sure,
but then you have your dream reality car,
right?
And I think it's a very reality dream car for somebody that is minded and planning on achieving that. I think it's a very achievable goal.
Right.
One thing I'm gonna take us on a little rabbit trail before we go back to the story. But one of the things we noticed when we talked to the RMR 4x4 guys, we literally had that conversation yesterday, so it's just on my mind about cars right now. But that like from really early on, they started around the same time you did, and like right before the recession, and they were just like, people in Birmingham just love cool trucks. Like there's just no like. And I was like, I love the simplicity in that. And then you've been able to do this too, even though it's a niche, car dealer, and you sell really freaking cool cars, at least from what I can see here. Like, what do you think it is about Birmingham that is this, or I guess like in another way of thinking about it is every single city like this where there's just like a market and taste for vehicles, or do you think Birmingham's unique in that way?
No, I definitely think that a lot of cities are. All right. So I think it works in Birmingham. I can't really say for other cities, but I think it works in Birmingham because we are just like your podcast. We're very community minded. Like, we want to see, like, I don't want to outperform RMR. They don't want to outperform me.
Sure.
We all have the same goal, and that's to have a really neat buyer base, to have cool customers, to have a car community and a zest and all that kind of stuff. Like, we've been buddies since day one. And I've bought many cars from them over the years. Matter of fact, my last Porsche, the 912 that I bought from them.
Wow, cool.
They always have something unique coming through the door. Now they specialize in some radical SUVs sure. But it's funny, they'll call me when anything like super quirky comes in because I like the cars, buying the cars that I always lose on, there's one buyer for, I have a sickness for that kind of thing. But
so do you have like a focus on certain cars that you work with, or kind of what's your niche?
Well, okay, we have a reputation for high-end cars like this. That's not what I want to be known for at all.
Yeah.
When I started off, I would advertise like my old logo was the silhouette of a 911. Oh. And I'm sure that started that whole path. But, those cars are cool to have. They make for great eye candy. They definitely make you feel cool to have here.
Right.
But it's not really what pays the bills. I mean, it's the Camrys and the Sequoias and the everyday stuff, the Subarus. I mean, that's what provides us a living. Those are the people that don't want to be fooling with strangers coming to their house and all that. And the more that all people see when they come in here is this. That's what they see. They don't see our 6th Avenue property with 50 cars on it that are regular trucks and SUVs and sedans and coupes and the stuff that the masses want.
Sure.
these are the folks that we just have to take extra special care of
Sure.
because they've taken care of them. So,
Right.
there's so many we can put inside, but yeah, it definitely gives us that feel, that reputation. But that's not really what we're all about.
Yeah. What are some like key marks throughout the years that you could note when growing your business? Were there any like special cars you sold, or like when you bought your first space? Like, talk us through kind of the journey of building Birmingham Broker.
We've always been here. We've been here
Really?
for 17 years. Yeah,
Wow.
this place was empty for about 5 years before we got it. Before that, it was a body shop, and it was a lot of hard work getting it going, getting the reputation going, figuring out the avenues of marketing that would work for acquiring cars. But it's really not until about the last 3 or 4 months that we've decided to put our foot on the pedal. I've been kind of on cruise control for the past 5 or 6 years, kind of relaxing and letting Keith, which y'all haven't met because he's actually on his way back from Scottsdale from training right now. But a friend of mine invited me to go to Scottsdale about 3 months ago, and just got really motivated there by
Really?
a company that's what they do. They motivate people and help them grow their businesses.
Oh,
So
cool.
right now we're on a trajectory of growth. So
Cool.
it goes back to getting here and just getting this place tidy. For the 17 years we've been here, we've had old body shop dust coming off these rafters. So
Yeah.
got in here, we cleaned them all up, painted
Cool.
the ceilings, painted the walls. We're doing a rebranding, sealing our floors.
Yeah.
Our intakes are up 40% in the last 45 days.
Wow.
Wow.
So we've just hired 4 people in the past 3 weeks.
Wow.
So to answer your question, it's happening now.
That's crazy. Wow.
So,
Talking
yeah.
Myers freaking
I was
language
gonna
right
say
now,
that's
dude.
super exciting. I nerd out on probably 2 things mainly. I
Yeah.
like a lot of stuff, but most of it is probably cars and business. What's the dream? If you're putting the foot to the pedal, what's the dream here?
So I want to be around cars my whole life. I don't want to work my whole life.
Yeah.
And until I decide to be a big boy and really start grinding, I'll just be doing this the rest of my life, and which is fine, which is great. But I think the plan is in the next. Not I think the plan is next is going to be a larger location because eventually we're just going to go completely bust at the seams. Then in 5 or 6 years, it's opening another market, which we kind of have our eyes on Huntsville.
Yeah.
After that, potentially Nashville. We want to show a replication model. For years, I didn't think that this business, that somebody could just open up a business like this. And believe me, it's hard. Like, dealers do not like consignment. I don't know what it is. They just don't like consignment.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid that they don't like consignment because, I don't know why you want a noose around your neck, why you want a floor plan, why the banks need to make all the money and not you. So,
Sure.
But we're just gonna continue to grow, and I've completely lost track of where I just was. Man pulled the mic away, man. The two knows.
No, you're good.
I'm curious. I want to double click in on something there. I would love to hear more about this thing you did in Phoenix. Like, is it an auto specific like motivation thing?
No,
or is it just like
it's
business in general?
probably. You've heard of Grant Cardone?
Yeah.
Okay. A guy named Brandon Dawson has joined up with Grant Cardone, and they've started something called 10X.
Okay.
And it's all industries.
Okay.
All industries.
So I don't know any of the people that you were just talking about. What is that?
It's basically taking where you are right now and multiplying it by 10.
Oh, okay.
Getting aggressive, breaking through ceilings in business,
Sure.
growing, creating the right metrics, having everything in place so you can train people on the path that you're heading in,
Sure.
the direction. So, like just these 2 new sales guys we've started, it's just been a different approach.
Yeah.
Where before we're like, yeah, come on, man, come work, let's have fun. Let's figure
and
out
now
how to
you
do
have
this.
like kind of metrics and goals.
I mean, we've
and stuff
been
like
working our butts off.
Sure.
Creating just even like training videos, like an objections or
that. Sure.
just trying to make it where we can replicate it.
Yeah.
So that maybe these guys, like Chandler that you just saw or Andrew that just started, when we decide to do Huntsville, maybe they can go up there and then,
Yeah.
they want to be a part of something growing. And before
Right.
we've never pitch, we were just like, hey, we got a sales position. You can come be a salesperson. But now it's like you can be a part of a team. Exactly. That has goals, and we're going to state them for you. You know what we're trying to do.
This past week, me and Cameron. Did I talk about this yesterday? I can't remember. Me and Cameron. Cameron's one of my best friends. We talked about these workplace satisfaction statistical kind of like survey things he used to do for his last job, and they surveyed people. He used to work in North Carolina, and they surveyed people that worked in North Carolina all over the state, and there was only 4 things that affected workplace satisfaction. There's 2 quantitative, 2 qualitative. The 2 quantitative were salary and benefits, and the 2 qualitative were support from superior, and then contribution to mission and vision of the company. And those are the only 4 things that affected it. And I love when you boil it all down to just that. Like if you as a boss or as a CEO or as a founder, whatever title you want to use for yourself, like focusing on those 4 things. It like honestly I feel like it's like the secret sauce. Because if I'm just thinking like Chandler's such a freaking good guy. Like he would be a great salesman alone. Mm-hmm. But now he's not just a good guy and a great salesman that's working here, but you know, he's gonna obviously see like payment and benefit structures or whatever. Every job it legally has to have that. But with the other 2, it's like so hard. Like my wife just started a new job, and she has no orientation, literally 0 orientation, and we're like blown away. We're like, she has no idea what the frick she's doing right now. So the fact that you're doing that is so cool. So I want to commend you in that. That's awesome.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. It's definitely a learning curve for me.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's also just so compelling, too, that you're definitely, you founded a company. You've been working for 17 years. You're on the other side of working as Myers and I. So it's super inspiring and admirable that you're like on that end and you're getting motivated to keep growing. That's like really cool. So
I appreciate that.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's get back into the weeds a little bit of those first 17 years. So 2008, the recession hits. Like, did it go well when you first started? Like when you actually jumped off the cliff, if that makes any sense?
Well, I was extremely lucky, and I think God was just behind me during this whole thing. But a friend of mine named Derek had this is kind of at the time I think that the Spaniards bought Compass Bank, and he took a retirement or payout, or I don't know what it was. But he loved cars, and he had a little business where he was buying cars and enjoying them and flipping them and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of piggybacked together. I brought him down. I said, cool. Man, I want you to see this place. And he had met my dad, and we knew each other through that. And I said, come on, look at this place, man. Let's open it up. You do your thing. Like you can use your dealer's license to go to the auction and buy the things you need, or we'll work together on that and all that. But I'll also broker cars for your company, which was actually called Imports Direct. So I was able to double up my inventory right off the bat, because I had huge. A dozen cars that I was selling for people, and then the 5, 10, 15 we started buying with his. So we immediately had inventory. There were some hard knocks, and there were some tough float months.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I really had to lean on Derek a lot during that, because I'm in a struggling real estate world.
Yeah.
At that point. So it was a divine meeting between he and I.
Yeah.
And
that's so cool.
Yeah.
For people that don't know Birmingham banking world, Compass was a huge bank back in the day, and then BBVA bought Compass Bank, which is Bilbao, Barcelona, Villarreal, and
Spanish bank.
It's like a bank from Spain.
Yeah.
And that bank actually sold it. BBVA sold to somebody last year, 2 years ago, or something like that. But anyways, that's really cool. Like that you found that was kind of a big Birmingham business thing that I remember happening, and you were just kind of happened to know a guy that was reaping a lot of benefits from that.
Yeah, and I looked at this place like as a child, looking at just this great mountain that he wants to try to climb.
Yeah.
I always looked at this building as unattainable. And it worked out. We were able to work together and make it a deal that worked out for everybody, and we got it going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I can't believe that 18 years later, I'm here I am still here.
Yeah,
renting. You're like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I want to buy anything. And then it's like, the market's crazy. We're gonna let things soften down. Then we're gonna buy something. Yeah. They're just still chasing that tail. So another reason why I'm trying to grow the business. 10, 15 years, I want to sell it.
Yeah. Sure.
and I certainly won't be retiring because of the building that I bought.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Or
Sure.
didn't buy.
Yeah.
What? So you're a dad,
I am.
married and a dad.
Yep.
What's it like running your business as a dad? How do you balance spending time with your family and trying to make this thing
Right
work?
now it's tough during this growth phase, because I'm getting up really early in the morning. I'm usually here by 6 o'clock because I'm doing block scheduling now. I spend
cool.
10 minutes on TikTok, 10 minutes on Instagram, 10 minutes on Facebook, 10 minutes going through my photos, weeding them out, 10 minutes through my email and all that. And it's 2 hours. And if I don't get that done, then I don't, if I don't finish that, then I'm lost all day and feel like having it's nice to start the day when your employees start coming in and you've already accomplished,
Sure.
something, and just taking those little bites every day, those 10 minutes on Instagram, following people and trying to get them to follow me and all that, it's all, I'm watching it all grow now.
Sure.
And it's the one bite, at a time of the elephant. So that's cutting in. I guess that's really not cutting into the time because I wouldn't see them that much in the morning anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to get home, by 6 o'clock when I can, and kind of get quality time with them and try to be with them, during the weekends and all that because they're all at that busy time. I just went to Baines. She's 17. She's my oldest.
Oh,
I went and watched her cheer last night for the last time.
Oh, wow.
But I've got another younger daughter that's 11 that's cheering, and a son that's just so full of adventure and testosterone. It's hard to keep up with him. He's really into these e-moto bikes, these Surons.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man, he is. Let me tell you, he's 13. He's always been a hustler. I've always taught him, to work hard and especially get rewarded while you're young before the IRS has got a noose around your neck and all that. So he's made money like every Saturday he'd get up there and he would fill the lemonade up and the cool and he would go to the pools and he would walk around and just sell them to the captive audience. And
That is
then he got into pressure washing and then everything else, but now he buys and sells these Surons just like I do with cars pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Serious?
he's had
I've been
months.
wondering, we run around, are you still in Mountain Brook?
No, I'm in Ross Bridge now.
Oh, okay. Well, in Mountain Brook, there's like 1,000 kids with these bikes, and and we run around Mountain Brook, and we have to dodge them all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a little sketchy, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we've been coming down here riding with a group on Thursday nights now, and it's so fun watching
awesome.
James just soak that
so
in.
sick.
They're like, "You're like the coolest dad," I'm like, I didn't do all this as a kid, and I really, whatever they do, I try to invest in. But he's really killing it, man.
Yeah.
He's enjoying it. He can ride a wheelie all the way down the street now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty.
That's so cool.
So he's selling them to his buddies.
Yeah, he's selling them to his buddies. He's putting them on Marketplace,
What a piece.
and moving them. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Thursday night we went on a ride. Yeah, he sold one to somebody in the group.
so
and it's
cool.
so funny. Like my wife, she's uneasy about all this. Like what else going on? And I won't ever have them in any kind of dangerous situation. Like when we go to pick up something or buy something, I'm going to be there and be present.
Right.
But she said she walked down one time and there was this kid that was like 3 times his size. He's 13. James is 13 and just has not grown. He's just short.
Oh, okay.
He will though. I
day.
keep
He'll
telling
spring
him.
up.
I keep telling him
Spring
it's
up.
going to happen. Of course, it never really happened very well for me. But he so my wife looks down and this guy's just towering over James.
Yeah.
And James is just looking at him and he's like, "That's fine. You can sell it Friday for $3,800. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I've got $3,000 in my pocket right now." And
making deals.
Cat like calls and goes, "James is about to get whipped." and I said, "Give him time. He knows what he's doing."
Yeah.
Sure enough, he ended up with the bike.
Of course.
It's just amazing.
What a beast.
It's just amazing.
30.
so sick.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. He was trying to get it $800 off.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny.
She said this guy looks like he's in a grunge band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just an
Probably Jacob.
angry youth kid. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I promise these guys are good.
That's so funny.
Dude,
Dude, what's like the coolest car you've ever sold, in your opinion?
Oh man, there's been some pretty incredible cars. Boy, that's a tough one.
Maybe do top three.
I would, being a Porsche guy, I've had some 356s that were just unbelievable. GT3 RSs, GT2 RSs, Lamborghinis, and just childhood dream kind of vehicles that have come in. I'll tell you the most unique one I've ever sold. And I don't want to get into too many details because I don't want to expose a guy's situation, But I had a guy, Crestline is just nuts over Halloween.
Yeah.
And I had a guy, that was a really successful business guy that built this. It was a 50s Cadillac that was a hearse, and he wanted to turn it into a limousine, and because he wanted to take his kids around at Christmas and all that. Well, over $1 million later.
Holy
he's like, dude, there's no way I can be seen in this. I just need this thing to go away.
Wow.
So, we went all over trying to sell that thing, man, Texas. And then I think I ended up selling it in Las Vegas, at one of those auctions. But, I ran into that Richard Rawlings guy. What is it?
Gas Monkey Garage, is that him? Or is he?
Yes, Gas Monkey.
Yeah.
What is this?
Do you think he's going to see this video?
Gas Monkey?
Yeah, I don't think he will. That dude's trash, man.
Really?
Oh, dude.
He's like a hot rod builder, influencer guy out of Texas, I think.
Yeah, because it was at a Texas auction that they were there. Everybody was all excited because he was going to be there, and they're all like super cool, right? Because they have the TV show.
Yeah.
And they're just attention hounds, like shooting vodka in their eyeballs and stuff.
Holy
like just
cow.
weird stuff. But he and his little crony people that they're there, and this is a worldwide auctioneer's auction. Like there's kids there, there's families there, and all that, and they kind of were going with this preppy look. The friends, I don't know. One of the guys is like really big into the Jeep world and owns like some big Jeep business or whatever. But they popped their collars up, and their collars in Old English said "F off" in the back of them, and I'm like,
that's
man,
crazy.
he's real, And this guy's like, yeah, dude, Richard. He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that. Can I use cash? Can I use my T-shirt money to buy it? And I'm like, I don't care what kind of money, if you want to buy it. And I call my seller and I negotiate the deal, and then I go out to the pool to him, and he didn't even know who I was at that point.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Anyway, that was probably the most unique car. I mean, it was 22 feet long.
Yeah.
You should have seen them trying to load it up on the. I mean, I was puckered the whole time I was around.
I'm sure.
Unbelievable. Sold some pretty unique. I sold one. I think it was a 1934 Riley, and it was some kind of. Well, I know if you look. In that room, you're going to see this old race scene and this black car that's there. So very few were ever brought into the United States.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find audiences for those. And
for
those, I've got to take them to the auction houses. Or at that time, there wasn't Bring a Trailer.
Right, right. That's another thing I was wondering about. Do you ever sell stuff on the online auction
this is like
platforms?
a great Gatsby car.
We do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. We do. Yeah. We've sold over 50 on Bring a Trailer so far. I'd go in and out of like the antique kind of car thing, but I just have a hard time with carbureted things sitting here and, all the drama that comes with, a person that brokers cars that is mechanically challenged like me.
Yeah.
I like the beauty. I like the sales. I like the history. I like all of that kind of stuff, but I don't know how to work on them.
Yeah.
So, we just quit selling those for the longest time. And then Bring a Trailer came out, and we're like, all right, let's give it a shot. So, so we started doing Bring a Trailer and inviting those cars back in. But we're still super selective on which cars. We turned down quite a lot. We turned down one, this week that was a nice example, but we just knew that Bring a Trailer wasn't going to accept the reserve and, just kind of the we just don't need them sitting around. We have limited space.
Sure.
So, but we do enjoy Bring a Trailer, and you got to be on your game when you're on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to answer that question instantly.
Right.
And then you got to deal with the Karens and the know-it-alls and the cultists.
Right.
It's something.
When you when you do these transactions, like
is every car in here like when you say it's consignment, it's cars that do you purchase it from these people and you hold it and then you sell it, or
no,
you're just selling it for them?
Selling it for them.
Oh, okay.
They come down here. They have about a 15 to 20 minute meeting with me.
Okay.
I show them the market, how that thing needs to be valued.
Cool.
Explain our process. They give me the keys and they leave.
Wow.
And then I call them when it's sold.
I love that. Wow.
That's kind of cool.
What do you like? I'm really curious. What do you think are the most like? What's the figure of speech? Like your beans and potatoes.
Your bread and butter.
Your beans and potatoes. What's your beans and? Yeah, I was off on that. What's your bread and butter? Like, what are your typical cars? You said earlier was
we sell a lot of
Camrys
Jeep Wranglers. We sell
Okay.
a lot of Camrys. We sell a lot of Grand Cherokees,
Gotcha.
Tahoes, Yukons, Suburbans, Explorers, Expeditions. The stuff you see,
Sure.
running up and down the road.
Do you think you could sell a 2017 salvage title Jeep Patriot by chance?
For example.
Just a random example, because that's my car that I really need to sell
Probably
one day.
not.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't stupid.
Don't get me wrong, we can. I've got, but I'll tell you, if there was ever a salvage title car, I would sell. It would be probably that.
Really?
Yeah. The Jeeps, like the Wranglers and all that, they're trail rated. Is yours trail rated?
No, his is
mine's like the lowest grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the trail rated ones I'm comfortable with, because, they
People
can
buy
still
'em and
be
then-
flood damaged and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
but they don't
sure.
know. Everything's encapsulated. Everything's safe.
Yeah.
It's meant to do that,
That's interesting.
And that's a toy for people. And a lot of
Right.
times they want a budget toy to get out there and beat up and have fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Things like that.
When I graduated, college, I graduated during the pandemic, and I just straight up just needed a new car, and I had no money at all. So I got this car, and it's it has got to be the most the most cheap. It is like borderline go-kart. It does have AC and heat though. It is hilarious. So I think it's really, really fun hearing all these facts and all these things about cars, because I've never even had the chance to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm really excited to do that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm certainly not knocking a car like that.
No, absolutely not. No, I
we get them that come in, and
Yeah.
then sometimes I'll just make them an offer to buy it or something and wholesale it, or help them to get rid of it. I just got to be careful to, because we post our Carfaxes and all that on our website.
Oh, cool.
And I got to be careful. Every once in a while, I'll take one. If
Yeah.
I think it's a nice car, built right, or if I've got the receipts or know
Mhm.
that it's been done right, and I can justify it. But I don't want people thinking, oh yeah, they sell salvage cars or rebuilt cars,
Sure,
or
sure.
all that kind of stuff, because that is not our bread and butter.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like Grand Cherokees, Camrys are kind of just the bread and butter of the car world in general. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the safe bet for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, Myers, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you interact much with the car culture at large? Do you go to Pebble Beach? Do you go to Car Week? Do you go to all these kind of car events that happen all over the place?
I do. I used to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Obviously, before I had 3 kids that were just, in the prime of all doing things. So that's been my focus. But yeah, I like to go to events and concourse things and stuff like that. I definly enjoy them.
Does
and
that
go
help
into
your
these
business?
auctions and all that. Not really,
Okay.
because I'm more. I sell everywhere, but my tail that I'm chasing is acquiring inventory.
Yeah.
And so, being at an auction out of state, or even like the Chattanooga Motor Cars Festival or whatever, I'm not really going to acquire any inventory from there. So
Right.
it keeps me tied in with the car world, but it doesn't benefit me.
So are you mostly taking inventory around Birmingham or close to?
Yeah. We get cars from Huntsville, Coleman, Montgomery, into Mississippi. We get the occasional out-of-town car, like that Aston Martin Vantage that we just got.
Yeah.
He brought that down from Charleston. It's our 9th transaction we've done
Wow.
with him.
Cool.
But that's definitely, an exception.
Right. Do y'all deal with collectors a lot? I imagine that's probably an ideal customer, because then you end up
We do.
working with them a lot.
We do deal. And I'm very involved in the car community local.
Yeah.
I try to go to Magic City Octane. I'm a member of Mob Inc. I'm a member of the Mountain Brook Driving Club.
Yeah.
And I try, like tomorrow we're doing a rally, to down to Lake Martin,
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mount Brook Driving Club is?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is that? That's like is it just,
It's
literally verbatim that?
It is. I mean, it's a group of about 80 people that
Cool.
that all love the classic cars and the antique cars, and just like-minded individuals.
Sure. Just head down to Lake Martin, grab a bite to eat, and head home.
What car are you taking?
Oh yeah.
I haven't decided that. My wife and I were talking about we're taking the kids, so we'll probably just take
Okay.
that Hummer EV.
Yeah.
My wife's car. So
Okay.
we'll probably
Your
just take
your
it.
wife has a Hummer EV?
Yeah.
Like
she
the
does.
huge one?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
tell me
It's
about it.
So
I think
cool.
I see those cars and I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like it's just like literally LeBron James in vehicle form. I feel like
I love it.
he's like the face of the commercials. That's why I always think about him.
She says she can't go anywhere now without somebody wanting to talk about it. So they just opened a Dollar General by Ross
Oh,
Ridge,
okay.
and she went in there and the lady goes, "Is that your Hummer?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "That's your Hummer." and so then the next time she went in, she goes, "Hey, Hummer," like that. That's her name. But
Awesome.
so there was a ridiculous deal, ending in September.
Yeah.
All these EV credits and dumping all these EVs.
Yeah.
And so like this last year has just been a real, for an opportunist like me
Sure.
that can't afford to have like super nice cars, it was an opportunity for someone like me to have super nice cars
Sure.
because you could lease them for nothing because they
Yeah.
needed to get them out. Like that, for example, I paid $10,400. I wrote a check for $10,400 to have that thing for 2 years.
Wow.
So I mean,
Like that was it?
That's it.
That's crazy.
It's a $102,000 SUV.
Yeah.
I
that
should have pulled the
we
trigger on
get
that,
to
bro.
do. It's unbelievable.
And then you don't pay for gas for 2 years.
That's
I mean,
right.
I don't know how much charging your car is,
That's
but
right.
it's not as much as filling up your tank, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah, these Silverado EVs, the RST, which was a $92,000 one, I leased one for 3 years for, how much was that one?
So you got all
18.
these trucks out here. There's like two, three.
Well, that's a different story. I'll
Okay.
tell you about that.
Okay.
Off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just helping a buddy out.
Gotcha.
Put some miles on some things, but for next to nothing, I got a $165,000 RS e-tron
I was
GT.
wondering if you got one
What's
of those.
that?
Okay.
That's a Porsche?
That- did you come in this way? It's an
Um,
Audi.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you afterwards.
Cool.
It's
All right, guess how much? 2-year lease.
On $160,000. I mean, I know nothing about leases.
$165,000. I paid $15,700 to have that car for 2 years.
Why is nobody?
Yeah.
Why? Like, help me understand that. Like, how? Like, that's crazy.
So
you get a car for 3 years for $15,000. Like,
I'm sure there's ways to figure this out.
Sure.
If you're smart. I'm not that smart. I've got a friend that is like in the movie A Beautiful Mind that can walk up to the checkboard and
Yeah.
figure it out. He's figured out how to stack all these things and
yeah, I'm sure.
how to
inventory,
manipulate it.
I guess.
And,
Yeah.
he knows what all the terms.
It's all like
that.
a finance game, really. 'Cause,
Yes.
like from Audi or some of these other manufacturers' perspectives, they're
yeah.
so big and corporate, they kind of just need to move inventory. And
Yeah.
so they're more willing to take a loss on something
Because they
just to
technically
move.
still own it.
Yes.
Like
'Cause
it's technically
'cause they're
still
renting
inventory.
it to you, basically.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So like the purchase is to Audi Financial.
Yeah.
Right.
So they get
You know.
money. I mean, they get the revenue plus they get to keep inventory, which looks good for your.
Right.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're
I
gonna
don't-
lose
I-
their
like,
butt. Like
yeah.
I don't want to be invested in any of these financial companies
Sure.
in 2 years once
Yeah,
the Piper hits.
everyone from our perspective as like potential customers, we're all like, I don't know how these companies are making money, and they might not actually be making money, but there's been crazy deals for
Yeah.
all these EVs because they've been sitting on the lot. Like Audi, they're just
Or people not buying EVs.
the market
that-
is not saying we want $160,000 EVs. Like people just aren't buying them for whatever reason, and so all these deals are coming up, and so
Huh.
people can buy these or lease these cars for like crazy cheap.
$10,400 for 2 years of a car is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty freaking good deal.
Yeah.
Just in general.
It's kind of unreal.
Because
So-
if you go out and buy a $10,000 car, and just in general, odds are it's going to break down and right around like not that much longer than 2 years.
Yeah.
And you get to drive a freaking cool Hummer. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
Under
awesome.
full factory warranty for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you hand it back over. You just give them the keys.
What's
when
the
you're done.
crab walk thing like? Does it
It's
actually
so
work?
cool. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's awesome.
You know, I haven't mastered it. You know, I
Sure.
haven't learned how to not put it in a pole yet.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool, man. And you can
360.
raise it up. You know, it's got air suspension and all that. It's super cool. You just feel cool driving it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
like
it is
normally,
huge.
you know,
That's
we
one
would
thing I
be in a
noticed.
Tahoe or something. You know,
Sure,
just
sure.
a family vehicle. But I was like, man, this opportunity's here.
Yeah.
You know, make my wife feel like super cool in this car.
Yeah. What does your wife think about the car thing? Is she into it?
She likes cars, yeah, and she likes supporting what I like. But like for 18 years now, she never knows when I'm going to pull the rug out from under her. You know, like whatever car she's in. Oh, hey, I sold your car.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you this car instead. You know, so now she's going to be in something for 2 years, and
Yeah,
she's
pretty
excited
stoked
about
about
that. But she's always enjoyed it, you know, and she's never been picky. She's the kind of person you want to give somebody something really nice for
Yeah.
because she doesn't ask for nice things.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's sweet. What do you drive?
Yeah, well, I'm excited to kind of go through some fun questions here. Let's
Yeah.
start with that. What do you drive?
I'm driving that RS e-tron.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, that matte black. I mean, it was too good of a deal. And
What's for Steven, what's the 0 to 60 on an RC Tron?
I don't know the firm answer on that, but you
it's
know,
quick.
it's under 4 seconds.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's in the 2 second range.
Yeah, I think it's 2.9, 3.1,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
It's
That is
insane.
crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, what about what is the 0 to 60 on like that Porsche right there?
I'm gonna let him answer that because he probably know that better than I will.
I'm not
Like, is
sure if
that
I
like
would.
comparable, like 2.9?
No, I would say like a Carrera S. Is that a Carrera S right there? I think that's probably like
That one's just that's the regular Carrera, and then that's a
3.8
GTS there.
3.8 maybe.
Oh, so
and a
your
GTS might be
Audi is like
3.6.
faster.
It's like way faster.
Yeah, but you got that
Wow.
electric, you know, I mean, just instant power. The
Jolt.
torque just, it's
That's
just
actually kinda
it's a different
crazy.
kind of thing.
Wow.
For sure. And then every once in a while, I always try to have like something cool in inventory because I can call it inventory. So
Right.
Sure.
the most recent one was the Aston Martin Vanquish. I had it
Yeah.
for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Pearl white convertible. Loved
Yeah.
it. All I did was chase gremlins the whole time, though, trying to figure out what's wrong with this
Wait,
thing and how not to take a bath on it because I bought it.
Yeah.
Anything for me, I just lose my butt.
Yeah.
So
John, you might know him, John Collier.
I do know. I feel like he's a customer.
I was going to say, I think I saw him driving that car one time. He drove
Oh,
around.
absolutely.
His
yes,
dad
yes,
might
yes.
be one of your customers.
Yes.
I don't know if he is.
Yes.
We went
No.
to school with him.
His dad
Yeah.
did my root canal.
Yeah,
when
it
I
was the Pearl
14.
white convertible
Yes.
with the brown
Yeah.
interior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let him borrow it.
I was going to say, I think I saw him drive through because we used to live in the same apartment complex.
Yes.
So I saw him drive up in that one time,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's crazy.
yeah, he's a cool guy, man.
That guy
He's
lived with my
awesome.
brother in college.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Really cool guy.
All right, I got another one for you here. So one of our favorite things to do is a little bit of a hypothetical. We have some friends who I say friends. We don't know them at all, but they do a podcast over in Australia, and this is one of the segments they do on their podcast. So we love it. And one of the hypotheticals we like to do is a little segment called 2-Car Garage. Okay, so we're gonna give you a scenario, a hypothetical scenario, and a budget, also hypothetical. And you were going to tell us if you had to buy 2 cars for your 2-car garage with that scenario and that budget, what would they be? You ready for this scenario?
I'll do my best.
All right. Okay, so in this scenario, you are a 27-year-old who's found his way into working for an investment banking firm. You came up with a genius deal sourcing strategy, and you're starting to make some big money. You've always been a car guy, and now you're really able to spend some real money on cars for the first time. You've given yourself a $350,000 budget to go out and buy 2 cars. What are you buying for your 2-car garage? And in this scenario, you are a single guy?
Yeah, I was kind of leaving it up to interpretation.
Cool.
I'll leave a little ambiguity.
Let's make it fun. You're a single guy.
Single guy, $350,000. You're making a bunch of money.
I would have to say probably M3 competition and whatever GT3 I could afford with the change.
Cool.
Yeah.
What
It'd
is
be
that?
pretty
The first
perfect.
one that you said? That's a
BMW.
BMW like race car? Am I?
Just a BMW sedan, but yeah, the competition's all kind of tricked out, mean looking mouth, and fast and fun. Just a beautiful
great
car.
Did you get a new one, like a G80?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Are those cool? Have you driven one?
I've not driven one, but I've ridden in quite a few of them. I do like them.
Yeah. I'm always curious.
Myers, what about you? What's your answers?
I hadn't thought about it myself. I would probably also get whatever GT3 I could afford. I'm trying to think of. I was on Bring a Trailer looking at GT3 Tourings the other day. There's actually there's one for sale right now that people think is one of Seinfeld's cars.
No shot.
Because there's a guy. This is really deep car nerd stuff, but there's a guy who runs this company called Cabiglio's Garage, and he's known to be the guy who handles Jerry's
Seinfeld's
cars.
That would be the name of his garage.
Yeah, and but that car's gonna sell for probably $400,000, so that's outside of my budget. I would probably get a silver or black GT3 Touring because it's kind of under the radar, and I would say that's probably $200,000. And then for my daily car, I think I would get an M5 CS.
I think we're pretty close together
I was
there.
gonna say I think we're pretty close.
Yeah,
on
that M5 CS.
I think those are sick.
golly.
The one qualm I have with an M5 CS is I don't really like matte paint very much,
Mm-hmm.
and they only sold them I think in matte green and matte gray.
Both are beautiful for me.
They're really cool, but I get scared of matte paint because it's more complicated to take care of.
Do you ever go to the Mob Inc. events?
Sometimes.
There's that guy that has those two BMWs that Corey at Enview Graphics wrapped.
Yeah.
He's got that green M3 and that M3 Kith edition, Kith.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just one of the
Super cool.
Golly.
Super cool.
And the Kith, the riding and
Yeah.
the headrest and all
Yeah.
that. Like that's one of my favorite cars in this city.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's super cool. What is the Birmingham car culture like?
Depends which group you're in, or which one you're visiting. But there's so many layers to it. It's just like when we go out and ride the little e-bikes, with James and his son. Whether you're riding with the e-bike people, the scooter people, or the one-wheel people. It's just
Right.
they all just seem to have different personalities and different drives and different things they're interested to philanthropically, and I just. Layers, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to answer that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What do you have other hobbies too outside of cars? I mean, cars I guess are your profession in a way. So, what other interests do you have?
I loved playing disc golf back in the day.
No way.
Yeah, I haven't played that in a while. I tried to get my son into it, couldn't do it.
Yeah. Shout out to Jacob McClendon.
Yeah, as a friend of the pod, he loves.
He's
disc.
obsessed. Yeah.
Yeah, your
Oh,
son
man.
was way too busy, turning some serious lemonade.
That's right.
He couldn't
That's right.
Disc golf.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I try to, I like dude stuff. Like I was into bourbon for a while. I was into poker for a while. All these kind of things. But I kind of get into the hobbies of my kids, really. Like even when James was into Pokemon, I went into Pokemon with him. But we always seem to do well with it. Once we're out of it, we go sell our stuff and
Yeah.
see that we did good,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
move
yeah.
on to the next thing.
That's funny.
So now it's these Surons and Telarias and E-Ride Pros, and
Yeah.
these things are, man, they're just a blast.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's super fun.
So my 2-car garage, I was just
Yes,
researching
yeah,
which one it was. 1959 Porsche 356.
Yep.
Made a specific model modeled after a vintage boat. And I just looked it up. The cheapest one that's ever sold is $125,000.
There
The
you
most
go.
expensive is $555,000.
Yeah.
So let's call it even, right around $275,000.
Yeah.
That leaves me $75,000. I would go get I don't even care. Probably just for nostalgia's sake, another Jeep Wrangler, because me and Gracie had fun. I was thinking about this too yesterday. Me and Gracie, tapping into the nostalgia thing of why I like cars. Me and Gracie, my wife, we rented a Jeep Wrangler in Kauai, and it was just the most beautiful memory. And then I was also thinking during the pandemic, so I graduated college. Spring break of my senior year was when the pandemic lockdown started.
And me and my buddies like came back because none of us lived on campus. We didn't get kicked out of Birmingham. We just all like hung out in Birmingham, and we just didn't know what to do. So, and like randomly during that time, my best friend Christian, his dad bought him a Jeep Wrangler. I don't know why. It was just like one of those things where he was like, "Hey, I sold your car, bought you this other one," and then he like drove it down to Birmingham and drove his car back, or the car that he sold back up. And we're like, all right. So during the pandemic, we had nothing to do. We would take our shoes off, go get a to-go latte from whatever coffee shop was doing like, COVID safe like ordering. And we would just like ride around in his Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
And there weren't a lot of choices.
No, it was like such a simple, like I want to do that every day.
Yeah.
But it was just like during the pandemic, it was like, there wasn't anything to do. So we actually got to do it. So honestly, I've been thinking a lot yesterday about, or since our conversation yesterday, about like how much nostalgia like weirdly plays into cars. Like it is kind of like when you sell a car, you don't sell maybe you do sell like in miles per gallon to like a really, like a
if you're selling an
guy
ordinary car
or something.
Yeah.
But it is like cars somehow have this aura to them where people can connect to their personality.
Identity. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And the same thing going back to those older cars, not only dealing with the carburetors and all working, but it's every guy coming in or lady telling you about the one they had when they were in high school and all that. It just like sucks the time out of your day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I literally was gonna ask, like, what is it like dealing with both like people you're selling for and selling to? What that's like.
Yeah, it's tough, man. But you gotta love on them, man. You know, and I think that's why they come here.
Yeah.
They enjoy the company and the conversation, and just us listening and sharing in our stories and all that. But it can be a little taxing sometimes, especially if you have a full plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about that, like just as whenever I asked you earlier about you're on the other side of doing the whole business thing than Myers and I are on this side as like kind of like mid-20s people. But for you coming into work and having yourself so like a lot of people have access to you, access to your emotional capacity and your time, like you're saying. When you do have a day off, or when you do get to like hang out on a Saturday with your family, are you the type of person where you're so much of an extrovert and you're so much of a people person where you're like able to kind of like give it all, like you're still just like loving it on Saturday morning and you're like talking to everybody and stuff? Or what is what
it's
kind of
hard.
toll does that
Sometimes
play
you're
on you?
depleted.
Yeah.
And you just try not to be selfish and want to lay on the couch and watch YouTube. And just numb yourself for a little while. But we keep pretty busy schedules for the most part. That I will say, I'm not great at figuring out idle time because I usually just go. But lately we've been trying not to watch TV at the house at night. We've been trying to sit together, play cards together, and try to have a little bit. Even though we're having less time together, we're trying to make our time together be more purposeful.
Yeah.
Is your daughter going to college next year?
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
she is.
wow.
Well, like right now, she's dual enrollment with Jeff State.
Okay.
She's working at the pants store.
Come on.
And she's really enjoying that. And,
Let's go.
they've just offered her a full-time position.
Which one?
Excited.
Which pants store?
The one in Hoover.
Wow.
Yeah.
My cousin Olivia works there. I'm sure they're friends.
Oh, I bet they are. I bet they are.
I'll ask her about it.
I bet they are. Yeah, and so she likes that so much that she wants to be a buyer. So,
wow.
she's going to go and she's going to
The markets
try
and
to
stuff?
get something in marketing and
Cool.
fashion, I think,
Yeah.
Cool.
She going to go to Auburn? Are you have any idea?
I think that's probably where she'll end up.
Awesome.
We're trying to keep her here the first couple of years to do Jeff State, make sure that's what she wants to do.
Cool.
So that she can be working at the pants store at the same time and all that. So
I
think she actually kind of wants to work up through the organization, but we want her to be a dreamer too. So,
Sure.
and have options.
Kinda love
But
that.
the G family, they're a great family, and I knew them from growing up.
Oh, no.
In Mount
Grayson.
Brook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
A lot of entrepreneurial spirits in your family I'm picking up on.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like Baines, when she was 12, she opened a jewelry business, and
Of course.
so she would set up at the markets and boy, it's like taking candy from a baby, man. You got this beautiful, cute little girl that made these earrings with a beautiful display, and I'm like, y'all just don't realize how good you have it right now. Like, like you know, cunningness and cuteness and all that. You know, ain't gonna get you through life, but it'll get you through childhood.
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny.
That's awesome. Well, it is really, really cool to see how, you know, it's not a family business per se, but there is, like, you know, the beauty of getting to come to a car dealership where there isn't somebody trying to, like, you know, destroy your day. It's like you're a normal person. I feel like that's really cool. That's honestly one of the main reasons I'm so excited that we came to talk to you is, like, I think before 2 days ago, before I talked to RMR and you, I was like, I'm never going to actually go to a car dealership because I literally watched a YouTube, like, video. I kind of, like, a few months ago, it was like on how to go to car dealerships and them not, like, waste your time and stuff. And because I was so afraid of it, and honestly, the video probably made me more informed and more afraid at the same exact time. And it is really, really refreshing that you can come down here and buy, like, whether it's an ordinary car at your 6th Avenue lot, or if you're looking for, like, the coolest car ever, you could come here too, or anywhere in between, and talk to a real person. I
had a feeling that ultimately, once I got married and settled down, that I would be in the car business somehow. So I purposefully, when I was living in Clarksville, Tennessee, went and worked, because I thought in my mind that I would get married, I'd come down here, work with my dad, Euromotion, getting cars for people. And I did. I tried to come down here and do that, but I couldn't find a role like what it was. He was just a one-man operation. So then I got into real estate. But I worked at a Nissan dealership, so I would know once I got down here how not to treat people. And it doesn't have anything to do with being a Nissan dealership, but understanding everything people hate about you know, why they would rather go to the dentist.
Right.
So, like, one example, my buddy Christian, he ran into a run of bad luck. He wrecked his little GTI, and so he needed a truck. We had a Frontier, and I was like, dude, you know I'm gonna take care of you. You know, you're my buddy. Come down here, I'll take care of you. And I remember sitting in the office with my manager, and I'm like, this is like my best friend here. You know, we want to take care of him. And he's like, look, he said, we're making $500 on this deal. And so I walked out there with just confidence. You know, I was like, Christian, we're making $500. I mean, everybody deserves that. You know, let's do this deal or whatever. And we did it. And then I went back in the office, and the manager's like, they're all laughing. I'm like, what? And then they put the real numbers back in the computer and showed me where they made like $4 or $5 grand on him.
Man.
And I literally shed a tear, like I felt like I betrayed my friend.
Wow.
And I actually went and told him, I said, you just need to be aware of this, and I just can't carry that burden.
Yeah.
But they think it's fun to do that. And his comment to me, I was like, why would you do that? Like, that's my friend. And he said, let me tell you about the car business. If you can't make the most money off your family and your friends, then you don't need to be in this business, because they're the ones that are going to wear you out the most. They're the ones that are going to have the most problems and all that. And I'm like, what planet are you from?
That's crazy.
And that's another thing that I love about RMR, man. I bet y'all had a great time over there.
Oh, yeah.
They are so warm and fun, and just that atmosphere.
Yeah.
You just feel cool being in there and hanging out with Kip and Sean.
Same
and
here. I'm like, dude, up until this point, I thought the only way out was, I'm probably going to butcher the explanation of this because I don't know exactly how it works, but I thought the only way out of, like, going to a dealership and paying, like, going in and the car is, like, online for $37,000, and then they're like, actually, we have, like, this fee, and your tires are off, and your car is actually worth $3,000 less than we told you on the phone, so you got to pay $48 or whatever. And I thought the only way out of that was going to Penson Valley Parkway or Highway 78, whatever you want to call it, and going to, like, the absolute slums of Birmingham to buy, like, rental salvage title vehicles. And it was just like, and you just kind of do that your whole life and suffer through that. So it honestly is so cool. Like I've never in my life been like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna like save up and like do the whole expensive car thing until I've talked to y'all the past 2 days.
Well, that's a good perspective for me to know. Like I've never thought that people would think that way. So that's another angle that we can try to do. But since Keith's been working here, he's been here for a while. And I wish he was here so y'all could meet him. He's just been a savior for the business and just a hard worker. But we always just kind of had the come in. But, you know, he just said, dude, we need to be appointment only. You know, if we're going to be a white glove service and all that, we just need to be appointment only. And I was sitting there thinking, that's not going to work or whatever. But we've been appointment only for like 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. Like everyone is efficient. No one is ignored. Paperwork, you know, they come in here and they're out of here. I mean, you know, they'll come look at the car. They'll be out of here in 30 minutes, you know, looking at the car, buying it and all that because we have dedicated time for them.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's, I think, what people like the most is just the efficiency and not feeling like they're going to lose a half a day by going and looking at the car. Yeah. But it all came down to just being appointment only. And that's not to say we don't take care of people when they come in when we can. But we explain to them, we're appointment only. We're going to be depleting time from somebody else, so you have to be patient with us.
Right.
Whenever I was in New York, I think New York is so unbelievably inspiring and cutting edge in like a billion ways. And my cars for y'all is like the coffee industry. I think it's the most fascinating thing in the world. I'm such a nerd about it. You go to any city in America, I could tell you exactly where the best coffee shop is and the coffee shop that everybody's going to tell you to go to that you shouldn't go to. That's kind of like what I'm into. But whenever I was in New York, I found 2 different cafes that had a model that I thought was super interesting. And you spend $20 for a ticket. And in that ticket, you get either like, it was like unlimited drip and a pastry, or you get one espresso beverage and a pastry, or, you know, however that works. And you get access to their space all day long. And I thought it was really interesting the way that they had that worked as in like you go in there and it's not about like there's no like weirdness on am I taking a table, am I allowed to have a laptop, am I like is the coffee gonna be good, are they gonna jip me on this price or that price, because I think it's really interesting. But like when you go into a coffee shop now, like, and it's just like transactional, it can become like really weird. But when you go into it having booked like an appointment and having a ticket, it's essentially like paying for a day pass to a work what's it called? Like a co-working space.
Yeah, workspace, yeah.
And it provides a space where everyone in there has the same idea of what's going on. And for the baristas, there's an element of like you kind of know how to be hospitable to someone because you know like what they're coming in with the idea of. Like, and you're never gonna have like a super long line. It's just a different way to like switch revenue streams. So, I mean, it was interesting. I worked at, so you know about the pants stores. Did you ever go in Canucans back in the day? It was like a similar store to Canucans. I worked there in college.
Canucans was in Alabama?
Yeah.
That sounds like such a non-Alabama name.
It was based in...
Like Canucans Y'all or something, but that just seems like a northern...
I know, it definitely sounds like Canadian or something. But it was based in Auburn. They had like 2 or 3 shops in Auburn, and Oxford, Mississippi, and Tuscaloosa, and, you know, with like college towns, Athens, Georgia.
But it's like an Alabama Outdoors type store.
Yeah. And they opened one up in Mountain Brook. And it was so fascinating looking at the statistics, how we had like a 10th of the amount of people, like foot traffic, that would open our door. Like that was like how they kept the statistics of like door openings per day. And we would have like a 10th of the amount of people, but we'd have higher sales than every other store in the entire country in Mountain Brook, because for every 10 people that came in, like 8.5 of them bought something. Because we were in Lane Park in Mountain Brook, and people that come in actually buy. And I think it's just a different way of thinking.
The new Lane Park?
Yeah, it was like it was open. I worked there like 2018, like a long time ago.
I don't know how that store got by me. I've never heard of it.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, it went out of business, like from a corporate level. But yeah, back in the day, whenever I was in high school, it was like every dude and every guy. When everybody was into like the comfort color, like Frock It t-shirts, they were the ones who sold it. So that was how I came across it. There's like, Patagonia shirts and shorts, and they sold like Bettinari, like watches and, or like fly fishing gear and tents and hammocks, that kind of stuff. But I was just thinking it's so interesting. So that is so cool that you're that's kind of been the idea of like more personal. I think the more and more human you can make a business, the more and more business you're going to naturally have. And like to a certain extent, like maybe people at Nissan make more money than like someone like here would, like during a holiday or something like that, like some weird time of the year. But this feels so I don't know, like not repetitive, like what's the word I'm looking for? Replicable. Like this feels so like normal, and it feels like you can actually work here at like the speed of being a human and not just some like machine or something like that. Like I have a buddy who's working at Ford down 280, and he's like, I mean, he has so much weight in his, like he has so many rocks in his backpack, if you will. Like he has so much pressure in his life right now.
Yeah. We just like Armand, we strive really hard not to be that kind of business.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, it's been awesome. Mars, do you have any last questions?
No, I just want to say thanks.
Oh,
Thanks
man,
for
that's
hosting
great,
us.
man. This is my first podcast, and y'all made it quite well.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I mean, I think it was genuinely so much fun to learn more and more about your story, learn about this place. I mean, honestly, if you don't want to buy a car here after listening to this, I don't know what's wrong with you. So, or just in general, I hope you've enjoyed the episode if you're not even in the market to buy a car at all.
Plug yourself, Craig.
I was going to say, if we are going to talk about me selling cars, like the good thing about a customer coming and buying a car here, we know the owner, we know where they've maintained it, we know why they're selling it. If you have a question, we can get it answered. There's never any mystery. This thing did not come from an auction, and it's not an unknown where they're trying to dump something.
That's actually so awesome. Yeah. Where can people find you?
BirminghamBroker.com or
Okay.
BHamBroker.com.
Awesome. Socials?
Socials, I don't know the names of them all, but you look
you're
up
on
Birmingham
Facebook,
Broker, you'll
Instagram,
find them.
TikTok,
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook
and TikTok.
TikTok,
Let's
we
go.
just launched TikTok.
Come on. And now you'll be on YouTube, Spotify Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts.
Give us time,
everything.
man. Yeah, I'm gonna open a competing podcast.
Yeah, you should.
The next guy, he's definitely gonna have to work out for that more than we will. I don't know, man. This is like we got a lot of auto like.
I was gonna say I'm on a kick trying to interview all the car people around town.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's great, man. And we can talk about some people I would recommend that I think would enjoy this. That you would enjoy spending time with.
That'd be great.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Cool. Craig, thank you so much. This is awesome.
It really was. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. And as they say in the furniture business,
Cheers.